Is it possible for us to heal ourselves? Do we have chemicals inside of our body produce that are produced that help us to heal ourselves, heal our illnesses? Is it possible? Well, today we're going to find out. My name is George McNamara, and this is another episode of Banishing the Doubt, Living Your Best Life Now. Dr. Joe Dispenza, um, he and a team of researchers conducted a research with with some participants, and what they had them do was 3 different times a day for 15 minutes. That was it. Just stop what they're doing and start to think of things that they're grateful for. And what they found was over a 4 day period, simple as 4 days, the chemical known as immunoglobulin A, which is our body's natural flu shot, that increased by 50%. So 4 days, 3 different times a day, 15 minutes only. Just think of something that you're grateful for, somebody, some person, something, whatever it is. And our bodies produce this chemical, immunoglobulin A. It's our body's flu shot, if you will. Our autonomic nervous system, which produces chemicals within our body based off of what we're thinking about, it produces a pharmacy of chemicals. So we literally have a pharmacy within us that can heal our bodies. See, the autonomic nervous system, through that, when we have these thoughts of gratitude or anything positive or uplifting, what we do is we signal our autonomic nervous system, and it immediately goes and it starts to create this pharmacy of chemicals that helps to repair our bodies. It helps to grow and repair our bodies. So, yes, on a certain level, you and I, we have the ability to heal ourselves based on our thoughts. But see, the other important part is Dr. Joe Dispenza says we will never accept, believe, and surrender to any thoughts or emotions that are not equal to our emotional state. We don't accept them. So that's why some people will say, yeah, I've tried the whole positive thinking stuff for a while, but it doesn't work. It's because it only gets those thoughts only get to our brain stem. They never get to our heart. There's this mind and heart connection. And you and I, we can tell when our heart and minds are connected just based on how we feel. There's a certain feeling within us. We meet a certain person, we fall in love. Um, our teams, win the championship. Um, Whatever it may be, there are these feelings that we get. Um, so what we do is we're looking to make this connection, to have this connection stay as possible, as positive as possible. The connection that we have as to connect the heart and the mind to each other as most times as we can in our life. The other quote that Dr. Joe has that I really love to share with everybody is this: just as thoughts are the language of the brain, feelings are the language of our body. What then the feelings and the thoughts, when they are merged, they create our state of being. So again, when the mind and the heart are connected, they're in unison, it creates a state of being, positive or negative. What we want to have is that connection be as positive and for as long as we can. So what we do is we become more aware of what we've been thinking. We become more aware of what we've been aware of. We start to notice things in our life. We start to notice how we react to things and other people or circumstances or stimuluses. So if our spouse or our friend or our brother, sister, coworker, mother-in-law, father-in-law, whoever it may be, says something and it triggers us, we start to become more aware of the mechanisms, the triggering mechanisms in our life that had us react. So we want to learn how to respond, but not react. We respond more and we react less because disease, lifestyle, or chronic diseases are really nothing more than just a lifestyle. So we can think of things such as, something happened when we were in school. Maybe we were in, say, the fourth or fifth or sixth grade. So I can remember as a young boy growing up in the fourth grade, I dreaded going to the fifth grade. Now think about that. I didn't tell my parents, but I dreaded going to the fifth grade. Why? Because the fifth grade teacher, Sister Inez, I can still see her in my mind's eye today. She would physically abuse the students when they acted out. So, and I had Sister Mary Ellen in the fourth grade, who was the polar opposite. But that was an accepted behavior back then, accepted by the parents. They felt that, well, if you strike the child, if you scream at the child, because they're misbehaving in your eyes, then that you're teaching the child. What a warped sense. But yet, 40 years later, I can still, 40 more than 40 years later, I can still see the hall. I can still hear Sister Inez reacting to the kids. So that created an emotional state within me. And how many of us go through our lives suppressing these emotional states? And then we wonder why, 30 years later, we're seeing a report and it says the word, malignant for whatever reason. It is based on a lifestyle, but more importantly, a pattern of thinking that has just repeated itself over and over again. The redundancy of that for years, decades. And it's these chemicals that are produced within our bodies. See, because once we have an emotional reaction to something, be it positive or negative, chemicals are produced within our body immediately. The body goes into fight or flight. And a lot of us, in a lot of our lives, that pendulum has been bent towards flight rather than flight. So we run away, right? Run away from Sister Inez. We run away from the bullying in school, right? But now, we can now know we can heal ourselves just based on thought alone. 15 minutes a day, 3 times a day, just thoughts of gratitude. Thoughts of, and somebody may think this is an odd way, but I'm actually grateful for Sister Inez because it has given me the awareness now to understand and to be able to teach other people that to become more aware of their feelings in that moment. If I can teach a younger child the awareness factor of what they're thinking and why they're thinking, and then there's techniques that we can use to overcome that, to change that. It's a beautiful thing. So that's my message today is I wanted to share with you that there are techniques and there are methods that we can use right here, right now, in order to start to change, start to kind of turn this battleship around, if you will. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does start to happen today, right now, right here in this moment. You can't undo the knowledge that I just shared with you. If it is important to you, if it really makes if the message is really making an impression upon you, your mind is capturing that information. It is going to file it away in this giant um, filing cabinet known as our subconscious mind. So that's the message I wanted to send out to you guys today. Is yes, there are ways that we, just based on our thinking, we can heal ourselves. And the chemical known as immunoglobulin A is our body's natural flu shot. So just real quick in closing, we're in the wintertime now here in the Northeast, and we're going to hear about flu shots and what have you. I'm not saying you don't take them. Just understand within us, naturally, we have our own bodies. Our bodies have their own natural flu shot. So until I see you guys again, make today the greatest day you can. Learn to live your life from moment to moment. Start. In fact, you know what? For the next 48 hours, anybody who is watching this, just ask you to comment down below and share this information and share with me. Say 48 hours from now. Share with me. You can email me at gmacnamara323@gmail.com. Let me know how things have changed for you in the next 48 hours. That's my challenge. For 48 hours, 3 times a day, just stop, pause, and start to become grateful. Start thinking grateful thoughts. And I'd love to find out how things have changed for you within that 48-hour, that little window of 48 hours. So until I see you guys again, this is George McNamara with Banishing the Doubt, Learning to Live Our Best Life Now.